go straight from me, and then we'll go. All right, so I'm live. Hopefully this is working. Well, again, thank you all for coming. My name's Martin Martinez. I know it might be a mouthful, maybe not so much for you, but you can call me Martin. It's easier to say, and I like to go by that. This is me. You can Google me. You can follow me. I've done a lot over the last 20 years here in Austin. I actually came for my freshman year 20 years ago. This place was Church's Chicken and a 7-Eleven. It's a beautiful space. Been very involved with events. I've been an entrepreneur since I was roaming, West Mall, studying architecture. Didn't do much with that, but it inspired me, just this energy, this space, to want to do more. And what starts here changes the world, right? That's why you're here. And I think what we've been doing at Founder Institute has certainly done that here in Texas. In fact, I just brought our conference, our global conference, Founder X. So if you found yourself here like week heading into spring break, I brought 41 countries. We're in 200 countries and 100 cities around the world. 100 cities, 100 countries, 200 cities around the world. We don't actually. We don't. Well, we'll talk about it a little later. But 41 countries, 6 continents. We don't have anybody in Antarctica running a program. Apparently, there's a lot of penguins, so that's a whole other story for another day. But I kid in that respect. So that was a lot of work. 8 years of building this community. But that's where it's there now. I got to put Advisor TVL somewhere in there. I'm running out of space. But you can follow me there, and I have a couple other handles I'll tell about later. But when I was y'all's age, probably younger, that's me at 20 working on 6th Street. And I stumbled into a job the week before South by Southwest. And this thing's going to follow me around. Hi, everybody. If there's like 2 people watching this, we're going to find out. There, it follows me. Sweet. So, that was me. I was hustling already. I wanted to own some bars downtown because at 20 years old, you think that's cool, right? But what I was also a part of at that wave was we were all geeking out in our dorms about this thing called the Facebook. And I didn't even have a computer yet. I did it on my buddy's laptop, got my account. Within a year, I started creating profiles. The first one was for this bar. It doesn't exist anymore, but it's next to Touche, right in the heart of the dirt. And people started showing up when I'd post. It was wild. And then I started walking down the street to the other bars, and I wouldn't leave until they either kicked me out or gave me a check. And so I could do that for them. By the time I graduated in 2010, so I was studying architecture at the time, 5-year program, I had 15 clients. I didn't know what I was doing. I could barely spell the word entrepreneur, but I already had that gene, that hustle. I'll tell you later, but I had my hustles in high school too. Mostly just getting all the booze for the football games. Sorry, y'all watching, whatever. But that was my first taste of entrepreneurship by myself, in a new place, trying to build a dream. And it got me a job at Facebook. Early Facebook, where kids being managed by kids. Spent some time at Google, jumped into another startup of my own. Spent every dime I had to do it. Learned a lot in that process. I've been involved with South by Southwest since that day, stumbling in there in 2007. And I've been blessed to be very involved with South by Southwest still. Do a little bit more these days. But man, this kid right here, I got more gray these days. But we all start somewhere. So to date, FI, we've graduated so many companies over the years. Most people quit. So out of the 160 companies we've launched across 4 cities now, Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, and of course here, where we started 8 years ago. That so far, we've just raised, a lot of our founders already raised that much money, and we're seeing some Series A's come soon. So that number is going to blow up, hopefully, by the end of this year. We'll see. Economy and all that. Different talk. So if you're interested about following that journey of the dream, applications there, it's simple. fi.co is our website. And again, you can follow my journey. And I'm here pretty often. I would actually be hosting our spring demo day in May, but we didn't do a spring demo day because I was working on Founder X. That was last month. Couldn't do both. So we'll be back in the fall. We're back in the fall. And again, I'll have that a little later. So we're going to start with just some basic frameworks, and then I'm going to get into why you're here, which is the art of constructing a damn good elevator pitch. I'm going to try to hold my swearing back as much as I can. I have a tendency to swear. Unless you're cool with it. I don't know about people watching, all one or two of you. But focus is going to be your best friend at this stage. It's going to be your best friend at this stage. You are a cloud of ideas right now. You want to do everything. You see the light at the end of the tunnel, but there's a fog between you and the end of that tunnel. You don't know how to get there. You have all these ideas, all these ways to get there, but you have to focus. Without focus, you will fail at this point. Trust me, I've made those mistakes. It's worse than being wrong. So we're going to talk about the rule of one first before we get into it. So this is what you need to think about right now at the beginning of your journey. And if you're too advanced for this already, you wouldn't be here. So regardless of everything that you want to do, focus, focus, focus. Rule of one. One problem, which is why I asked you what problem you're trying to solve. Not what you're building, not what your company is. What's the problem? What's the problem? For who's going to give you money for it? Right? Who's actually going to pay to solve this problem? Or for the thing that you're building to solve this problem? People don't buy products, they buy solutions to problems. When you think of it that way, everything gets more simple. It does. Believe me. You know, that's the challenging part about the MSTC program, is that you're looking at solutions to understand where a problem could exist, where this solution, this idea, this IP could fit. So you're having to reverse engineer it. Great solutions out there, but do they solve problems that are actually going to make money and change the world? Maybe not ever, maybe in 100 years. Who knows? That's why it's so challenging. That's why it's a great program. I don't know who's studied all MSTC. See, there you go. There you go. One way to make money, one product, and it only does one thing really well right now. Again, I know you want to do everything, but it has to just do one thing well right now, so that those people, that one customer is going to give you money, is going to be happy with it. Okay? With one way that works, with one way to make money. Okay? Everything else is rookie shit. Okay? That's it. Right? It might be frustrating in the beginning, but this discipline of focus will make you a damn good founder. Right? I believe anyone can be an entrepreneur. There's a difference. There's a fundamental difference between being an entrepreneur and being a founder. And I'll tell you why. You could be a stay-at-home mom and make candles at night when the kids are asleep and sell them at farmers markets. That's very entrepreneurial. Hold on, let me finish. You could be a kid working in a bar, building Facebook pages to bars up and down the street and making some money off that. Entrepreneurial. But you're just creating an opportunity and a job for yourself. To be a founder is not to just do that, to create opportunities and jobs for others. It's a different weight and expectation of you. The entrepreneur. Anyone can be an entrepreneurial, but to be a founder is a different mindset shift. And I tell people that the first time. I tell our founders. I call them all founders on day one. But it's not like a light bulb goes off. It's like a fuse cracks. Like, ugh, I didn't sign up for this. I just wanted to get rich and be on the podcast and hang out on Shark Tank, Mark Cuban and all that. It's not how the world works, unfortunately. Believe me. And not everybody's made to be a founder. And that's okay. That's totally okay. It's a hard and lonely journey. And it takes a lot of discipline and focus. Yes? Yeah, like they're saying I'll get there. So let's get into the framework. Okay? All right. Actually, dang it. I'm using the wrong one. I'm sorry, y'all. I had a special one just for y'all. Oh, this is the one. Okay. Give me a second. Yeah. What we got? Actually, no. I actually did right. I did it well. Yeah. Okay. No, it is there. Okay, it isn't there. Excuse me, y'all. Excuse me. All right. Let's go back. I'll get there. I'll get there. More than often than not, I've done this talk a lot. So those questions that are in your head, I'm gonna get there. Trust me. Good question though to have. Good question though to have. So let's go into the framework. Right. Now, this is the new iteration, so I'm excited about it. Let's start. Who the hell are you? Who are you? Why are you talking to me, right? Why should I be listening to you? Establish credibility, establish authority. So I asked you when you came in, who are you? Where are you from? What brings you here, right? I want to know you. Anybody that cares, wants to invest, and wants to be a co-founder, wants to advise and support, they need to know who you are first. You go straight into, oh, I have this company idea, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, whoa, hold up. Let's get some ground rules. I'm Martin. What's your name? And I get that a lot. I get that at so many networking events all the time. People are just already showing me the deck, like on their phone. I'm like, whoa. Let's back up. Okay? Tell me why I should be listening to you, right? And y'all are in school right now. That's cool. You may not have a lot of work experience. You might do, right? You may already know a lot about it. You might not know anything. That's okay. But what drives you is going to help you establish credibility. If you have a passion for something, that'll establish credibility. If you're already inspired by something, you have personal experience with the problem, that establishes credibility. Because what you're answering right now, and by the end of this, is why you. Why are you the person to solve this problem? Why are you versus everybody else who's tried and failed? Or hasn't done it as well as you think it can be done? Right? Start there. And when I pull you up, if you want to come up, sometimes I pull you at random, but there's only 4 of you, so I'll let y'all try if y'all want. Really go in that. Reiterate. Who are you? Don't just say, because even though you met everybody, do it. Make it an exercise. Right? My name is Martin Martinez. I am the founding and executive director of the Founder Institute here in Texas. Established in 2017. We make ideas reality, and we help founders become that. Now you're like, okay, tell me more. That's what you want me to say when I'm done. When you're done, I want to go, tell me more, because I'm excited. You have me hooked, and I believe in you already. It's up to you to keep that momentum going. Second one. What's the problem? So I asked you, what problem are you trying to solve? Why are you doing this? And again, it's not the solution. It's the problem. Start with a hypothesis. We learned all this in elementary school science class. Really, it's a basic assumption. You can test this. I believe that, something, this clearly defined audience of people deal with a problem, and it's big. It's costly. The things out there just aren't working. This problem still needs to be solved, or solved better for the people that deal with this problem, and it matters to me, right? But it can't just be anything small. It's got to be something worth spending at least the foreseeable future of your life doing. Yeah, I don't work with people who want to get rich quick. I can smell it. I can feel it on the damn handshake. If you're just there to sell me like a banana JPEG or something, right? Like it's not, doesn't matter to you, right? You can be a great salesperson. That's great. That's awesome. I'll probably hire you to be my VP of sales at a hot startup, but you're not a founder, fortunately. You might be a good entrepreneur, make an opportunity job for yourself, but you're not a founder, okay? There's a difference, y'all. There's a difference, and hopefully by the end of it, you'll really understand, and you'll be able to see a founder versus just an entrepreneur, okay? So, I'll tell you how some people have done it. You know this guy, Adam Neumann, WeWork? Y'all know about crawlers, though? You ever heard about crawlers? Y'all ever hear about crawlers? Two people on the thing? So crawlers was before Adam got famous and wanted to elevate consciousness and all that stuff. But he didn't focus. This is a get-rich-quick scheme for him. He didn't really found WeWork. He was just the one that could articulate it at scale and motivate people. He still had founder energy, right? But he wasn't the visionary. This co-founder was the real visionary who saw the problem and the opportunity. Adam jumped on and rocket shipped it up to the chaos that it became, right? But crawlers, he didn't even have kids yet. Crawlers were these knee pad, like what you see, these baby jeans with like knee pads. Because he was just like, oh, baby, since the dawn of time been crawling on the floor, they must be uncomfortable. I want to make these pants, and I'm going to try to sell them in baby shops, and I'll be a millionaire. Nobody bought them. He didn't validate. He didn't even have kids. He wasn't even married yet. Like, he didn't know any moms. He didn't bother to talk to anybody. He saw a solution for a problem that didn't exist. Because babies are doing just fine without crawlers since the dawn of time. So don't be crawlers. So again, understanding who the customer is. This is the person that's actually going to give you money, right? So babies aren't the customer. for crawlers. Even though maybe babies can't, maybe it does hurt for babies, but they're not paying for it. They don't have bank accounts. It's the moms. They didn't talk to any moms. So that person is going to give you money. Or in some cases, as you see, the person that's directly influencing decision. So if you're selling something like B2B enterprise stuff, maybe the end user, like a graphic designer, wants the tool, but it's a team of graphic designers and only one of them wants it. And then the hiring manager, whoever it is, their boss or project manager, is actually going to buy the tool. So you have to actually not convince just the end user. You have to convince the purchaser who's going to do that to make his or her entire team work more efficiently, right? So you got to think of it in that way too. Social media is a really good example. You are not the customer on Facebook unless you're a creator or something else, but you're the product. The advertisers are the customers, right? I'll talk about advertising later, but just don't do it. So again, here's some good and bad customer definitions, right? I've literally had people come up to me and be like, Martin, I have a great idea for a product. And I'm like, okay, here we go. Who's it for? Women. Wow. Half of the US, or half of the world's population, women. Every single one on the planet. 4+ billion people are going to all buy your product. No, they're not. They're not. Oh, small businesses. 90% of the US economy is going to buy your product? Probably not. Maybe not yet. Certainly not right now, if not ever. But if you're saying first-time mothers between this demographic that fits this hypothesis that you have on who deals with the problem more specifically, that's a good customer definition. It's a good one, right? Yeah, y'all can read that. So really think about it. And when I hear that, I know you've actually done some work and you've actually thought about this, right? Versus, oh, I thought about this, drinking with my friends at dawn, like, oh, it's a great idea. We're going to make $1 million, right? So once you've established that, who are you? Why should I be listening to you? What's the problem? How big is it? Who deals with it? Why does it matter? Now tell me how you're going to solve it. If you're at a point where you can actually show it to me, even better. Show it to me. Don't bury the lead. Don't bury the lead. Tell me about it. How does it work? And don't be like, oh, it takes your dog for a walk and it cuts Julian fries and it calls your grandma on her birthday, wish her happy birthday, all that shit. Like, no, it's not. It's not. It just does one thing well, right? Focus. Focus, rule of one, right? And you don't have to give me, oh, blockchain, blah, 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 and do all this stuff. I'll show you some naughty words not to use, because that also shows me that you don't know what you're talking about. But then I think it makes it look smart. But yes, now intro the solution, right? Simplicity wins. So one killer feature, right? Just needs to do one thing and one thing well right now. That's it. I know you have all these dreams and ideas on how it's going to be good. But if you do 100 of those things to try to make it right, I know this from personal experience. None of them will work. None of them will do anything well. And you're building something that no one's going to buy because you try to build it for everybody when you forgot there's just one core group of people that are really dealing with this problem. Does that make sense? Yeah. Good. Again, good question, but I know we get there.
I think like how we compare our competitors. We want to build like a difference competitors. Mm-hmm. So let the customer why choice maybe the difference another provider, different service.
Yeah, so again, like let's not get into the minutiae just yet. If you forgive me, we don't have so much time. How many people are you talking to? How many of those competitors are you aware of? What do they do? What do they don't do? What are the things that customers hate that they don't do or wish they did better? You do that enough. You talk to enough people, you'll know what's not done yet that could be done well, and you build that. You go and build that for those core people that said, I will give you money. At least 100 people you should talk to. At least 100 at the beginning of the journey. You can do that in a month, trust me. I spoke to 250 people in January alone. Phone calls, meetings, events. It's entirely possible to talk to 100 people in 1 month. And I challenge all of my founders that come into FI to do that. 5 people will quit in a week. The rest will do it. And they'll be like, Martin, I know so much more. Actually, the idea's changed, that my assumptions were wrong. It's okay to be wrong. It's better to be wrong than to lack focus, okay? If you leave anything from this talk today, it's going to be focus, 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 Okay? Simplicity is going to win for you right now. Focus will win for you right now. Everything else is a rookie mistake. And I don't want you to make mistakes. So again, I'll leave it there. It's hard enough to just do one thing right. You try to do everything and boil the ocean when you're using them MBA terms. You can't do it. You're not going to be able to do it. You'll quit, right? I never want to hear any of you say this right now. Certainly not today. Because you're not. You're not. And 2, 1 people, maybe nobody. I don't want to hear you ever say these words. We're a suite of products. We're a lifestyle brand. We're all this blah, blah. You're not. You're not. Not yet. I'm not saying that you cannot become that. But at the very beginning of the journey, something where I've spoken to thousands of entrepreneurs, and a few of them have really become founders, more than a few. Notable percentage become founders. Know that too. Tells me something. Tells me something about you, your assumptions, your expectations, and the lack of work and preparation you've actually done before talking to me or anyone in our community that will write a check for you. This is actually a slide that my friends that have a boutique VC fund here in town that focuses on traction. So you already need a product in the market. You already have to have some customers. So generate at least 3 people on the team. They don't want to hear these either. They don't tell me anything. Revolutionize, innovative, disrupt, cutting edge. I hate that one. Ugh. Usually those are more product people, respectfully, that just didn't take marketing. They think those are sexy words because they saw it like in a brochure. Doesn't tell me anything. Cutting edge, none of these words mean anything, right? Be simple. Be direct. How does it solve the problem? It's innovative. All right. I'm going to go get a drink, right? That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. So try to remove all of these from your lexicon. And if you do the practicum this year, or next month, and I hear any of you say it, I'm going to dock you a point. Anyone on there too? Here's one thing that no one ever tells me on the first go. 100 times, 100 pitches for the first time, maybe 1. But mostly everyone does it. How do you make money? If you identified a customer, some people don't even tell me the customer, right? So they don't even know who their customer is. They definitely don't know how they're going to get money from them. How do you make money? More often than not, if I asked y'all to pitch me right now, you wouldn't have had it in there. You just told me how cool this is. You just said innovative and revolutionary. Bleeding edge, just another one I hate here. It means nothing. I won't belabor those naughty words, but keep it simple. Keep it simple. One way to make money. People are like, oh, we're going to do affiliate marketing, and then we're going to do subscriptions, and we're going to do events. Like, no, you're not. It's hard enough to build one product that does one thing well. It's even harder to try to make money in multiple different ways at the same time. There's only one of you, maybe 2, maybe 3. How are you possibly going to manage all of that? Sell it. It's customer success. You'll burn more bridges than you gain. One way to make money right now. Right? One way. And please, please, please do not tell me about ads. Don't get clever on these. Again, you can Google this. We have a really good article that we published years ago. It's still very relevant. Just write it down. Top startup business models. And the first thing that pops up is going to be a Founder Institute blog post that shows you. Drop it into a GPT. They'll pop you the same stuff. You don't have to get clever right now. It's just got to work. Got to prove that it works. It proves that people are going to give you money. For software, it's typically, subscription services right now. One-off purchases, add-ons, annuals. For harder technology, you're doing LOIs, right? POCs, because they're going to be longer and harder to build, taking longer time. Grants can be helpful, but then you can spend a lot of time just chasing grants. You got to really understand what you're doing, why you're doing it, who's going to be buying it, and what's going to be that go-to-market. But that's a little bit further down the way than what we have today. And I want to get this done in 10. I'm halfway through. There's 8 things. Don't avoid advertising. I'll say it again. I walk out the room if I don't throw a chair at you. If you tell me you're going to do advertising. Because you need massive economies of scale. You need massive economies of scale. Billions of users for that data actually matter to an advertiser. It's like, oh, you're going to do ads, banner ads? Ugh, gross. And you have 10 people? They're going to hate you. Their customer, the advertiser, is going to hate you. And you need, For every 1,000, you gotta use that. You're generating X amount for this. It's just the math. You can just type your GPT, ask them, why is advertising suck? And they'll tell you why. But avoid it. Avoid like the plague, y'all. Very much in the beginning. I try to tell people to avoid just trying to build a social media tool either, because that's very hard. You're not going to compete with Facebook or, any of these things. Hi, Zuck. We're on Instagram right now. It's just not going to work. Okay. And again, it shows me that these are rookie mistakes. Are y'all following this? Does it make sense? Am I scaring you? Hope not. Hopefully I'm motivating you and breaking down some fallacies that maybe you've heard, because you shouldn't be having to hear that crap. Okay. This is stuff I know that works. So reiterate. Why now? Why? So I know who you are. I know I should be listening to you. I know what the problem is, who deals with the problem, how you're going to solve that problem, how they're going to give you money to solve that problem. Why does it matter? How important is it to you and the market? Now, again, if you still have my attention, you are about 40 seconds into your pitch at this point when you're talking to me. This is all entirely possible. Might not be today, but it will be eventually for all of you if you're committed to what you're trying to do here in this room tonight, this afternoon. This is where you can start throwing some more numbers. Some people like to front load it in the beginning with the problem. That's totally fine. But you have to really know your numbers. And if it's something new, novel, you front load in the beginning, I'm just going to get confused. So you got to build up into it. And then boom. Now I'm like, I'm still listening. How big is this? Billions? $1 billion market opportunity just in the US alone? All right. Tell me more. Right? If it's in the millions, it's low millions, it may not be big enough for you to actually pursue. Right? Because how much money are you going to raise to solve a problem for just a paltry $1 million market, right? Why would I give you $10 million for a $1 million market? Not going to work. So really do those numbers. We have, in our program, we actually have our own GPT models where we can give you that, the TAM, SAM, SOM. I know y'all probably are familiar with all that in whatever class teaches you TAM, SAM, SOM. But yeah, that's where you really know your numbers. And that's when I know, all right, I'm going to keep listening to you. Ergo, tell me why you're the people to do it. Why? And again, if it's just you, solo founder, I expect that most of the time. If you have a team, it gives you even more confidence because now there's more people committed to this vision, this mission, this opportunity. Right? Why? Tell us about you a little bit more. Don't give me your LinkedIn profile. Right? You may not have a substantial one just yet. It's okay. But yeah, this is where you can really reiterate why you're the person to do this, why you're the team that can accomplish this, and how everyone else is going to eat your dust when you get to market and win. All right, so, man, any of y'all actually have a product in the market right now? No? Yeah, that's fine, you don't. So usually you talk about traction. Traction means a lot of different things for a lot of different people. I know you hear this word, traction. But for many of you, it's going to be just where are you at right now conceptually, status-wise. But this is where, once you start building and you get users and customers and all that fun stuff, that's going to make an investor, just drool to give you money. Where are you at right now? Pre-product, do you have revenue? Do you have sales, right? You can also start to allude, hey, we might be raising money just yet already, or about to prepare for this, right? A roadmap, we're launching in Q3 2025. We already have 40,000 user signups on our wait list. We have a community of 15,000 people strong who get our mission, that support our mission, right? That's all traction. That's all status. We have 3 LOIs with governments all around the world, something like that. Schools. That's traction. Again, your model is going to be different across the board, whatever industry, whatever problem you're trying to solve. But where are you at right now? And then the last thing, another thing that nobody ever really tells me at the first pitch, but it's arguably the most important thing for the whole point of you, me spending a minute listening to you, is how can I help you right now? What do you need to do to get from A to B? To win. And if you ask me for money, I'm going to go get a drink, I'm going to introduce you to somebody else that I don't like, and I'm going to let you annoy them. But if you are ready, and I'll know if you're ready, just by how powerful that story you told me in a minute was. I might wave over an investor and say, hey, I want you to meet this amazing woman I just talked to for the first time. She's in ed tech. You invest in ed tech. Y'all go from there. But most of the time, you're just looking for validation. You might be looking to interview potential customers for feedback. Don't sell them on the product yet because it's not there. You want to understand the problem. I have a whole nother validation talk I can give. So I've merged like 4 different talks into this one today. It's a lot more refined than I've done it in the past. Well, I think it's ready for prime time. But if you don't have an ask, and most people don't, I'm just like, wow. And you'll hear it again. Just like I had that. Good luck, kid. And they walk away. Because they know you don't know what you're doing yet. And they know you don't know you need help. But you all need help. We all need help. Right? And again, it's probably a lot of this stuff to validate the idea, to understand your customer more, maybe to meet more of those, first-time moms between, 22 and 45 that enjoy yoga, and are still working professionals, right? You need to meet more of those people. I have a whole validation talk on that. A lot of times it might be advisors. We need people that can help us understand go-to-market. We're a product-focused team. We don't know anything about biz dev. We don't understand how we can actually make this marketable, right? It's up to you, but have a clear, defined ask. A big lead one, a nice secondary one, then a nice to have is good too. But in a minute pitch, the most important one matters, right? And if you tell me you want money, I'm going to walk out the room because you're not ready. Don't think of it as a Shark Tank pitch. That's all BS. Pitches don't work that way. You don't lead with money. That's all for theatrics, and it's a good show. We actually had Allison Ellsworth of Poppy here last month for Founder X, and she raised a ton of money on Shark Tank. And then 4 days later, she exited to PepsiCo for $2 billion. She was already a billionaire on paper, I think, by that point. She didn't bother to tell us on stage. Dang it, Allison. Shout out, Poppy. And that's it. That's it. Who are you? Why should I be listening to you? What's the problem? How big a problem is it? Who deals with that problem? What's the solution that solves that problem for those people? How are they going to give you money? Right? How are they going to give you money? Why now? Why is today, this quarter, this year, this century, the time to do it, to solve it? Go back to you all. Why are you the people to do it? Why are you the person to do it? Better than anybody else ever can or ever will. Where are you at right now? Be honest. It'll take a quick Google search while you're pitching me, if we're doing it in a formal setting, to know if you're full of shit or if there's actually something out there. Where are you at right now? Okay. How can I help you? How can I personally help you? That's something I instill in every single person in this community of ours called Founder Institute here in Texas. Is how can I help? Not what's in it for me. How can I help you? That's it, y'all. Ooh, right on the dot. Thanks. Yeah. I don't want to spend too much time on them. Again, it's part of my validation stuff. But they all focused in the beginning. All of them. Zuck, Bezos, the Yeti guys, Katrina Lake, Stitch Fix. They all had focus. Hell, Melanie Perkins with Canva. I'll tell you a story later, but I want to get into workshop time, which would give me a little less than 8 minutes with each of you. Well, we can do it however you all want. You tell me. But they've all focused. And then they got to do what they did and what they're doing now. And they all changed the world. So in the end, right, don't be that person that's going to build something that no one's going to want. No one's going to buy. Why are you going to waste your time on that? Right? Don't waste my time, but certainly don't waste yours. Talk to people. Don't be shy. And I'll tell you why. Because no one's going to steal your fucking idea. Okay? No one's going to steal it. No one's going to steal your idea. I'll give you 2 examples right now, just some scenarios. Well, I'll give you one. Because there is one way. There is one way, but just much further down the line. Hideo Resi, you can look him up. He was Elon's roommate in college. He started Founder Institute. He was here. Him and Jason Calacanis had the most fireside chat I've ever been able to put together. Right on that stage out in Chrome, just last month. You tell me something over cocktails. You're like, I have this great idea. Oh, my God. Well, I can't actually tell. You need to sign an NDA. I'm like, all right, I'm going to get another drink. Bye. Or you do, but you're still scared. Just think about it. I'm like, wow, what a great idea. Amazing. I'm going to call Dale tomorrow and be like, fuck you, I quit. I'm going to go spend 80 hours a week on this idea that this woman right here told me over cocktails. I'm going to spend the next 8 years of my life building it to beat her to market. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Did y'all ever watch that show on HBO, Silicon Valley? It's prescient, it's dated in terms of the tech and probably some of the jokes, but it's still very, very textbook Silicon Valley. There's one scenario. You're already in the market. You already have something, a team. So there's this episode in like season 2 or 3 where, they send the engineers to the pitch. It's like third pitch, and they don't even ask who's in the room, and the VCs brought a competitor in there, the other engineering team, and they're literally whiteboarding out the tech, and the engineers are just like, the competitors. That's how you can get your idea stolen, right? You're giving away all the goods. You're throwing the baby with the bathwater out because you put the wrong people in the room and you didn't manage expectations. It's very comical, but that can happen. But that's on you. It's on you not doing the diligence going into that room. They weren't ready to be in that room. They sent the wrong people to that room, unfortunately. But it's a comical way where, yes, that could be stolen. But that's already a product out in the market. It's not an idea. Ideas are a dime a dozen. And I've heard thousands upon thousands of ideas over the years. Sometimes it's the same idea over and over and over again. No one's going to steal it, okay? So the only way you're going to turn this into reality is if you talk to people. If you talk to people. If you talk to people. So let's do some workshopping. I want you to think about that framework here. And I want y'all to think about how you're going to pitch me and this room. There's only 4 of you, 2 of us here included. Spend some time. Write it out. I encourage you to write it out. Please don't bring up your laptop. I will tease you if you bring your laptop. I want you to try the best of your abilities to do it right up here. You won't have a laptop. You won't have notes. You won't have anything where you're constantly doing this 1,000 times with 1,000 different people. But at the end of it, if you're successful, and you will be, you'll hear the magic words, tell me more.
Before we jump into that, I just want to say, I'm not sure how many people might be watching the stream, but if anyone is uncomfortable for any reason, you can come there.
Yeah, I can turn it off after this. Just want to, yeah. It really is just like mine. I'll figure that out later.
Yeah.
But good call. But yeah, well, let's do this first then before we get into workshop time, because that's always good. Consent's your best friend. I'm going to show you some things, and this will be good for the audience, whoever that is, in time. And we'll do the hot seat later, as I call it. We have an event next Wednesday. So if you want to come out, scan that out. That's a free code. Y'all spent time with me. And for those of you watching, you can scan it too. Actually, yeah, go over here. I'll go next to it. We're hosting a little happy hour called Founder Night Out. It's a really fun event. We actually have a new sponsor I got to put on. I hope y'all are all above drinking age. If y'all are grad students, I hope so. At least that's what they tell me. But yeah, you'll be able to meet more of our community. We'll meet some of our founders, people who have gone through the program. And you might be able to workshop that idea you have in your head at the moment and get some really, really good feedback. That's what this community is about. We want to help. We want you to win. I want you to win. I barely know you. But you're in this room. That tells me enough. I want you to win. All of us do. We run from 6 to 8 over at In Cahoots. Y'all been in Cahoots? They're good people. I'll give you some book recs too. I love this. And try to read it in this order. Maybe you already read some of these, but try to read it in this order. This is something I give to all of my founders. Okay? And yeah, you can pull out your phone and actually take the screenshots. It'll be easier probably. First flow is Lost in Founder and the Hard Thing About Hard Things. 2 great books that just honestly lay out the beginning of the journey. Again, it's lonely. It's hard. Everyone that loves you will call you crazy. You're giggling, but it's true. He grinned too earlier when I said it. I'll tell a room of 100 people, most of them will have that same reaction, going, wow, I'm not alone. Because you're not. You're not alone. And these books really illustrate that and give you confidence that what you're about to embark on, this journey that you're excited about doing, you're terrified about doing at the same time, has been tried before. You just have to remind yourself you're not alone. Next phase. Now it's actually how to get into it. So regardless of what you think of Peter Thiel, it's this Moon Politics Outer. He wrote a damn good book, 0 to 1. He wrote a damn good book. Starts very much where you're at right now to actually getting a product out in the market. And then also the Lean Startup, Eric Ries, fundamental. It's one of the things we ask our founders to read too. All these I ask them to read in this order. So that gives you the frameworks and the methodologies that you can to actually build a startup very well. And if anything, this book's now outdated because you have all of these amazing AI tools that can accelerate all that with even less people. By the end of this decade, we will have, if not in the next couple of years, we will have the first single-person unicorn through the use of AI tools. It's exciting times. The world is changing. A lot of that future is happening here in Texas, too. So y'all are in an amazing place to take advantage of it. The last two. As I mentioned, we had JCal, Angel. Start there before you get into venture deals. This is going to read like a Finance 301. So unless you're already well-versed in all that nomenclature and jargon and equations, that's going to feel like a foreign language. Angel is who you're going to primarily be speaking with in terms of who's going to give you money in the beginning. All right? Jason Calacanis and Brad Phil. And that's it. So a couple things. Again, that's me at the top, Martin, if you want to follow me directly. I just launched a new, more formal kind of brand called the Founder Journey, where I'm building a lot of this, and this is probably going to live on there too, where I'll be sharing more tips like this about the journey. So it's very fresh. There's nothing there, but if you want to do some of the first followers, have at it. I'm going to be pushing content more, launching into spring, into the summer, and I'll be taking more of these talks on the road. Right. And then lastly, if you want to just follow the Founder Institute in Texas, Founding Texas is that. We're in 4 cities. Right. So I appreciate y'all listening. I can be very intense, but it's for good measure. Thank you to 0, 1, 2, 5,000 people that are watching on Instagram Live. So I'm going to shut you off. I'm going to go work with these folks. Y'all ever want to show up to this thing? I might have to charge you. Okay, bye. Oh, wow, there were people on this.